You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Today, his attorneys held a news conference where they made it clear that people should say that Travis McMichael and Gregory McMichael are innocent until proven guilty. Here is some of that news conference.
In some countries, when the government accuses you of a crime, you have a show trial. You get convicted and you get sent to prison. Or even worse, you disappear altogether. But we understand here that when the government accuses you of a crime, how easy it is to accuse. And so we have that presumption of innocence. And we have that due process of law with rights for every individual accused of a crime. We need to be mindful of those rights that are embedded in the very fabric of our society, that are promises made by our Constitution, a document we hold up to other countries as an example of how government should function. And so I implore all of you, members of the media, reporters, journalists, commentators, and the listeners and readers that follow your lead. Don't rush to judgment. Our evidence in a court of law, whether it's in Glenn County or someplace else, the government will have an opportunity to present its evidence in a court of law, and then, and only then you can judge.
Our cases, the tragedies associated with these cases. Mr. Arbery's death is a tragedy. As attorneys who are stepping into this case, we feel an immense responsibility to be respectful, to be ethical, to be conscientious, to have a commitment to the truth, and we are going to shoulder the responsibility of that commitment to the truth and to those core values that we as attorneys hold dear to ourselves and our profession. That is our promise to you all. That is our promise to the community here in Brunswick, to the families, and to the individuals.
You know, it's amazing to listen to them, Erica, talk about presumption of innocence, no rush to judgment, yet their clients rush to judgment, accusing Ahmaud Arbery of theft, chased after him with guns. He's dead. They're still alive.
GTFOH. The execution, the lynching of Ahmaud Arbery, that blood is not going away. And for other people to understand that are following this case and to see that whether or not Travis is going to have bond, whether the other Klansmen, I don't recall his name, is going to have bond. This is a long road ahead. They have already had private Facebook groups, many of which that have been dismantled, GoFundMe pays, many of those that have been taken down. So we're going to have to play the long game, because the other piece of this is whether or not that case is tried in Glenn County, Atlanta, or somewhere else, that we're going to have to look to see what that jury is comprised of. If that jury is not reflective of the now deceased Ahmaud Arbery and his family and the rising majority of America, then we've got some real serious outcomes to be concerned about. And this is also why people need to be registered to vote, so that they can sit on those juries for cases like this. And so as we listen to these attorneys bring out the diversity piece, talk about other countries, in this United States of America, since 1704, slave patrols have been the order of law. And so us wanting to see change means that we have to be very active, that we have to, number one, ensure that we are engaged, not just in the short term, not just for hashtags, not just for runs, but for however long this case plays out. But then also make sure that we are doing what we can to make sure that, number one, Travis and his father don't get bond. If that means sending out emails, calling the DA's office, but then also ensuring that we are registered voters so that when cases like this unfortunately continue to come up, that we can be on those juries and make sure that justice is served.
Reese, again, listen to those attorneys. Look, I get it. I mean, he's your client, but what y'all are asking for, they didn't do to Mr. Arbery.
I mean, frankly, I listened to that and I just thought, ain't that about a bitch? How dare you sit up there and talk about the presumption of innocence? How dare you wave around the Constitution after you executed a black man who was minding his damn business, who was jogging and not doing anything to anybody? It's actually sickening to hear, and they probably really believe that shit, and that's what's even more infuriating. As far as Gregory McMichael goes, when you listen to these 911 tapes and this like that, all that is establishing a pre-alibi. It's establishing a pretext to go and conduct an execution like what they did to Ahmaud Arbery. And, you know, I looked into their background a little bit more, and I hope you don't mind that I'm reading this, Roland, but Gregory McMichael actually had a lapse in state-mandated training for things like community-oriented policing, de-escalation, use of force. And that was between 2006 and 2004, where that meant he was not empowered by, even though he was a chief investigator for the DA's office, to issue arrests. And so it's so ironic that a person who for 8 years had this power suspended from him because he did not have the proper training, or he disregarded the mandate to have that proper training, turn around and took it upon himself to make what he called a citizen's arrest. But what it really is like Erica said, it's a lynching. It's a slave patrol. It's disgusting. And I this whole, you know, high ground and trying to appeal to people on the basis of Constitution and presumption of innocence, it's all bullshit.
Greg.
Well, brother, I share Reese's righteous indignation, and I think Erica has nailed it. First of all, yes, they may have taken down the GoFundMes and tried to blunt it on social media, but when you hire Peters, Rubin, Sheffield, and Hodges out of Atlanta, you've got some money. So the first thing we see is
hold on. You have some money, or is some money behind you?
I'm sorry, brother.
Right.
Let me amend what I said to say what you said. Somebody is giving them money to hire these high-powered lawyers. These ain't country lawyers.
No.
The first guy, Bob Rubin.
Because these two ain't got no money.
No question. That's number one. So we now see that, as you say, the Klan then rallied around its own because they done paid that retainer fee. And Rubin, Bob Rubin, the first guy who spoke, Rubin was the lead lawyer in, I'm sure you remember, I know you covered it, the Atlanta Public Schools, the RICO prosecution of those black principals in Atlanta for that test cheating scandal. Rubin came out of Emory. He spent time working with Fulton County as a public defender, then worked with the state as an assistant attorney general for the state, prosecuting Medicare fraud. So this guy has a deep training. His friend Sheffield, since 2015, Sheffield, the second lawyer who spoke, he's been traveling overseas with Rubin and one of the other lawyers to train new lawyers in the Republic of Georgia that just broke from the Soviet Union on how to select juries. So what Erica said is very important. The first thing we're going to have to find out is whether they're going to change the venue from Glenn County. And they're going to fight like hell, I suspect, to keep the venue there. Then you're going to get into jury selection. These aren't country lawyers. They've been doing jury selection. They go overseas to teach other countries, lawyers in other countries, how to select a jury. They are going to introduce, finally, and if Scott was here, he'd say the same thing, they're going to introduce a real blizzard to talk about reasonable doubt. When we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, releasing that video galvanized our community, but it necessarily something that damned them. Now you release this report, this 911 call to basically establish that these police adjacent vigilantes, because they ain't just out there. These guys used to be cops, so they were affiliated with criminal justice system. They're out there basically serving as a neighborhood watch. All you got to do is seat the right jury, introduce enough of a snowstorm to get them to introduce reasonable doubt, and these guys walk. And they got the right firm in Peters, Rubin, Sheffield, and Hodges, brother. I'm afraid.
Now, what's interesting about this is that a lot of people, I mean, this is arguably the one story like this where even a lot of white folks have been commenting on social media. What happened to him was wrong. Eric Erickson, big-time conservative, far right there in Georgia, was going, y'all could try to explain this all the way. That man did not deserve to die. I don't recall previous cases where you saw that. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, fam, to all Roland Martin VIPs, you are invited to the Laugh Experience, taking place this Friday, May 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at Ceek.com. That's CEEK.com. Join me and let's laugh with comedian D.L. Hughley, Chris Spencer, D.L. Hughley, Chris Spencer, Dacious, Ryan Davis, and Clint Coley. It's a first-of-its-kind virtual comedy show on Ceek.com. Ceek.com, remember, y'all, is the black website created by this sister. Y'all. You can watch it on your phone, your laptop, even in virtual reality. Now, I'll be there, and I hope you will be there as well. Now, remember, we had Mary on the show, of course, the creator of Ceek. She also is the one who created her own VR headset. So they have these available at Ceek.com. And so it's real simple. I was actually testing this out a couple of nights ago. Actually, it's pretty cool. And so just go ahead and zoom out, Anthony. And so it's real simple. You take your phone with this head. Now, there's some VR headsets where you can actually connect to the web and stuff along those lines. But this one here, what it allows for you to do is, so you actually have you go to the Ceek app, and so you can pull it up here, right here on your phone. And then what you do is you place your phone right into the VR headset, close it up, and then you're able to then put this on. And so what's going to happen is you put this VR headset on. Y'all, what's so cool about this is that it literally looks like you're in the room. So what's going to happen is they'll be live, and so you can sit here and you can look all around. You can look at the ceiling all around. It's going to be pretty cool. The first time ever, again, a virtual reality comedy showcase that's taking place this Friday, and so that's what it looks like once you're inside. You get to be able to look around on the inside of this room. It's pretty cool, and so you can do this again. It's created by a sister. This device and the site as well. She also created these 360-degree sound headphones. Y'all, these are boss. Okay, Bluetooth, as well as you could actually plug in. The Bluetooth creates the whole 360-degree sound, and so it's great for gaming as well. And so if you do use these, there's a promo code. Go ahead and write this down. The promo code. This is the headset right here. These are the headphones right here. You don't have to watch the virtual comedy showcase with your headphones. You can watch it right here on your phone. It's not a problem, but it does give you a whole different experience when you're watching it in virtual reality. And so what I want you guys to do is if you want to get these headphones, get this headset here, there's a promo code that you can enter in to be able to do so. And so let me pull that promo code up. And it's been, like I say, I've been having way too much fun with this whole deal here with these headsets. And this is called the world's first 4D 360-degree audio headphones, and of course this is the mobile VR headset, and so that's what you have here. They have a special code for our followers here at Roland Martin Unfiltered, and so we're gonna pull that up. And where is it? I thought we had it here, and so we had all these different emails back and forth, and so I'm trying to find it. Promo code. All right, this is what you use. To buy the headset, to buy the headphones, go to Ceek.com, CEEK.com, and use RMVIP 2020. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered tip.